Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this advanced Java series, today we will see byte array input stream object, how to use this programmatically. We will see one program by using byte array input stream object. So in last lecture we have discussed different classes of different classes of input stream and output stream, which are byte oriented stream classes. So out of that, one was byte array input stream class. The use of byte array input stream class is to read data byte by byte from byte array. As this is a built-in class, it is having constructor. So there are two constructors for this class. One is byte array input stream with argument byte array. Let us consider I am giving array argument name as array only. So this is first constructor, that means either here you can use argument as array of bytes, or another constructor is byte array input stream. Again here we will use byte array. So definitely, as we want to read byte by byte from array, array must be there. But here the difference is that here we are using two more parameters. Second parameter we will use, which specify the starting location is in start position from where we want to read within array. So second parameter is int start, which specifies from which index location we want to read data byte by byte from array. And third parameter or argument is int numbytes, which specifies that how many number of bytes we want to read from this byte array. So any of the constructor we can use while creating object of byte array input stream class. Now we will see one program by using byte array input stream. I am using here NetBeans. So already I have created one, I started one file program using byte array input stream object. So here I write code. We want to access streams. So for that, here okay, I create, here I want to use object of byte array input stream class to read some string. And so for that, here first I declare one string. String s equals to, I am directly assigning here string. I am directly passing here a static string. This is a demo and ends with semicolon. So what are the string here I have declared? So this string I want to pass to array of bytes. So for that, here I declare byte array. So byte b, this is my array, equal to, so this entire string I want to pass to this byte array, and for that here we are having one method in string class by which we can do it easily. So here I have declared s as my string, s dot, here I am getting one method get bytes. So if I use this method get bytes, our entire string automatically will get converted into array of bytes, and it will get stored over B array. So because of get bytes, string will get converted into bytes, and these bytes we are storing in array of bytes B. So now this string, this is a demo we are getting in the form of array of bytes, and this array of bytes now we will read byte by using byte array input stream object. Here I am going to declare byte array input stream object. We can use any of the constructor. I am using first one because I want to read entire string. All bytes from this array I want to read. So I prefer first constructor, just as we had seen. Byte array input string. Name of my object I am giving BIS, byte array input stream. New byte array input stream. In bracket I must use here this array of bytes, that is B. I am using here first constructor of only one parameter, that is array of bytes. So this is coming, why it is coming? Because here we have not declared the class where byte array input stream object is class is present. So what should I do for that? I need to add here import java.io. java.io dot star means all the classes under java.io will be available. So in input stream we are having byte array input stream, so we have included complete package. Instead of including a single class, I included complete package, all the classes available under IO. So now we can use this byte array input stream class. So we know that if we want to read byte by byte from this byte array, we have to use read method. Yesterday in last lecture we have seen methods related to input stream. So for reference I am giving link for last lecture in description box. So if we want to read byte by byte, definitely we have to use read method. So there are multiple overloads, you can, whatever the suitable overload we can use. Here I am using simple read method. Byte by byte I want to read data from our byte array. So whatever the data we are going to read, return type of this read method is integer. So it reads data in the form of byte, and it converts into equivalent integer number. So to capture this return value after read, I need to declare here one integer variable. Let us consider int n I am going to declare, and in this n I will put up the data, the byte which has been read by read method. So up to if I am going to read this byte array, so how can I know that whether the stream is to be end now, or there is no any more bytes available to read, or end of stream? How I can identify end of input stream? So that can be identified by the return value. In last lecture we have seen that if we are using read method, if we are reading byte by byte, and if there is end of stream, it returns value -1. That means up to -1 we have to read byte by byte from array. I am using here while loop. While, so whatever the value I am getting by read method, I will store in n because it will be integer. So n equal to, what is our object name? bis dot read. So reading byte by byte. So what will happen over here? First byte of data will get read. Whatever the integer equivalent, that integer equivalent will get stored into n. Then second byte will get read. It will again get stored into n. Likewise, up to the end, each and every byte will get stored in n one by one, definitely in integer form. And when there is end of stream, this value of n will be -1. So when, if it is, if this value of n is not equal to -1, I will continue this while loop. Means if it is not equals to -1, that means there is no end of input stream. We can continue this reading. And if this value of n is equals to -1, this condition of while loop will become false, and it means that reading of byte array is over now. So let us consider first byte we are reading, definitely as it is first byte, whatever the integer n is over here, that is not equal to -1. So the condition is false, and we will come inside of while loop, and here we print system dot out dot, I use print, so it print, we want to print here n, but what I want to print this in string format. What is n is? N is integer form of your byte. That means even though here I am reading, see, this string is converted into bytes, these bytes are now converted into integer, and again I want to read this n in original form of string so that it will be readable. So what should I do? For that I have to use here one built-in method of character class, character dot, I am using here, I want to convert all these characters to uppercase. You can just for the differentiation, that means we whatever the input is there, we have read it only for that. So I am converting this character to uppercase, and I am using here n. So if no, it is not necessary to convert it to uppercase, so we can just write, first I finish this. One bracket. Okay. So for what we do, again I repeat this. I want to, where my byte data is present in this n. This n is in integer format. What can I do? I can convert it to the character format also by using this explicit conversion typecasting. So I can convert this to character. So if I'm using this, it should be like this. So this integer n will get converted into char explicitly by typecasting. So whatever the integer n is there, that is going to be converted into equivalent character, so that again it will show you this is a demo. Okay. So first we will run this and then we will convert again one more time we will run and we will see it convert that into uppercase. That is also that can be done. Okay, I save this. We compile, we run. Process is going on. See, as a result we are getting this is a demo. So already we have given string this is a demo. This we have converted into byte array input stream. Uh, we have converted into byte array. We have created object of byte array input stream class by using this byte array b. We have declared an integer n, and in this integer n we are reading byte by byte data from by using object bis up to the end of our input stream, that is while n equals to bis dot read. If it is not equals to -1, whatever the byte we have read in n, this we will convert into char and we will display. So first byte, then second, then third, up to the end of stream. At the end of stream it will get indicate by -1, and when the end of stream will cause, so we are getting value of n as -1 and it will stop this while loop and end of program. So this is executed. So here we are getting output byte by byte we have read and we got the complete string. This is a demo. If I am not writing here char, we will get here integer. Our string this is a demo we will get in the form of integer. Let's see what is happening. So I run this. See, we are getting one long number because for every character identical equivalent integer we are getting in n, and that n we are printing. That's why here we had taken character equivalent with explicit conversion typecasting we had done. If I want to convert these every character to uppercase, for that I can use just as I were using before. So I was using before that but first simple form we have seen character dot to uppercase. So this part I keep as it is. That means our integer will get converted to character first. This character will now get converted into uppercase. So one more bracket is required. There are two opening brackets. Yes, one more bracket is required. Okay. Again I say and I run this. See, this is a demo. In capital we are getting because of this character dot to uppercase method. So character is a wrapper class. In that to uppercase method is available to convert character into uppercase. So this is a simple demo by using byte array input stream, how to read data byte by using byte array. Okay, thanks for watching. Keep watching.